Because I definitely want to see that breakdown, because I mean, $200,000 a month. I just have to do the math right quick. Times 12 months in a year is $2.4 million a year. Now that is, a whole lot of money, and that's why I said I definitely want to see the breakdown between,
Can be beautiful if you let it.
in the bowl.
Yo, 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 what do you know? Welcome to In the Bowl Podcast. Shout out to Hustle Five Ways for hosting. I'm your host, Nas.
that you got Tallman live from Dubai.
In the Bowl Podcast is sponsored by your nation's own #1 mobile hookah provider, where they not only do private events, they do wholesale distribution and take that experience to the next level. What's happening?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Can't complain, man. I think, we always talk about how, you got to look at the glass half full. So, you may hear the voice a little raspier than normal, but yeah, man, just dealing with the holidays. We just got through Thanksgiving, so everything's good. Everything is good. What's up with you?
That's what's up, man. And all is well out here. We got the World Cup going on right now, so the city is extra activities. It's just a lot of moving parts. You got the holidays. We had folks in town last week. We got folks in town this week. So it's a lot of moving parts, but weather's still nice. Crisp 88 degrees. So I'm not gonna complain too much, man. All is well.
That's what's up. That's what's
So
up.
how was your Thanksgiving? You have I didn't see any pictures posted with your Thanksgiving fit. How did everything work out?
It worked out well. I was on the debate, right? I was like, is this a dress up year kind of, Thanksgiving, because, it made me think, right? I had because me, I feel like I'm a very, very, very simple person when it comes to, I like it very simple, keep things easy, so I'm not all about wearing a whole, blazer, button down and hard bottoms at Thanksgiving. All I'm gonna do is get full and want to lay down, what I'm saying? All I'm gonna do is wrinkle shit up. So, I was on debate. Do I wear a white tee, a black tee, or do I actually put a polo on?
Okay.
So that was probably my biggest debate that day. So I think like it's good, what I'm saying? But, I was told by a couple family members that maybe a white tee was a little bit too lax. A black tee went with what I had on, but again, there was just not enough. So I had to end up putting a short sleeve button down on. So that was my compromise. But I needed some room, some space. I had to, I had to stretch, man. That's the food coma marathon type of situation.
Yeah,
Good.
that is a big day for eating, man.
And it's crazy because I think it's so funny because like you go with the intentions of like, all right, it's probably like to me, we had a discussion about this, right? Like what's your favorite holiday? And I had to really sit back and think, and Thanksgiving actually is probably my favorite holiday, not because of food, right? Even though you get some of the best meals and people bring out their A game, no one's allowed to test, no one's allowed to bring in, the experiment dishes. You come
Exactly.
in, you know what you make, and you know what you're coming with, and you know who's making what. So you expect, like, all right, cool. I know, this folks about to make this, and this is what they're good at. This folks about to make that. That's what they're good at.
Exactly.
So, but Thanksgiving to me, I feel that it's like that one holiday, like where you're really getting together, with family, friends, if you have a Friendsgiving, or if you live, you're not around your family, right? You have your Friendsgiving or whatever it may be, but you're around people that you can have some really good debates, and it can go either way. Whether you may remain friends, or you may have to take a 3 week pause on being friends or family for a couple weeks. But it's like where all the love is, right? And you're not worried about giving people material shit, right? You're not like, oh, I hope they like this gift, or I hope they like that. Like, you're not worried about anything
Hmm.
material. You're literally just getting around the table and breaking bread and being thankful.
That's it. That's
So,
it.
I think Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday for that one. So we kind of went around the table on that one. So I would say Thanksgiving was cool. It's been a while. I guess it's like really a tail end. It last year, I think people tried to experiment of having
Yeah.
certain families around and stuff like that. But I think definitely this year, a lot of people got really lax and comfortable and really kind of gathered. It seemed like it was the first time, in a long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, back to business. I know, Thanksgiving on this end was I'll tell you, man, it was a long, long day. It was a good day though, but it
Mhm.
was a long day because Wednesday night, we had flew out to Doha to catch a World Cup game. We went out to see, Canada and Belgium, and I mean, that was an experience in itself because we caught a 5:30 flight to get out there. The game was at it was 11 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock, Doha time, because Doha's an hour behind us, So in theory, the game started at 11 o'clock, ended at 1 o'clock. We left there and went to a 24-hour shisha spot, right by the airport, like maybe about a mile and a half from the airport, because we had a 5:30 flight, back to Dubai. So I ended up not getting home until like 9 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. So I couldn't fall asleep until somewhere around 11, and woke up around 3, so I was moving off of, 4 hours of sleep. But, we hosted a Friendsgiving. It was pretty cool. I mean,
Well,
everybody, we all had assignments,
there you go.
assignments and dishes, so we ended up having probably about maybe 20 to, 25 people over, including kids. And everything, went pretty smooth. We all, everybody ate good. Folks took, takeaway plates.
There you go.
So freed up some space in the refrigerator because when we were, initially putting food out, I'm looking like, man, all this stuff got to go because refrigerator wasn't going to house all that, man. But
Yeah.
it was a good time. We had the soccer games playing. We caught the NFL games, a little later on, in the evening, just due to the time difference.
Yeah.
But I mean, all in all, it was definitely a good first Thanksgiving, out in the sandbox.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That definitely what's up, man. So let me ask you a question. You mentioned to go place, right? Is there a rule of to go place that is there a rule that you think people should follow by for Thanksgiving or proper etiquette? All right. So I
Okay.
asked that because the discussion went, what are you allowed to take with you? Are you allowed, if you didn't bring anything, can you take anything away with you? If everyone hasn't eaten yet or some people are still coming in, are you already allowed to start making your to-go plate? Or is there a limit of to-go
Mm.
plates that you should take with you? So say if you're a party of two, do you take 4 plates, two for each, or 1 plate for each, or 1.5 for each?
I do think it's customary that you really don't start fixing to go plates, until a good majority of the guests, have arrived and ate, because if it's something like, let's say, for instance, deviled eggs, and it's like 6 deviled eggs left, and you still got 4 people coming,
Yeah.
you go clean out the deviled eggs. That can kind of go either way because one, if you put a set time and say, hey, this event starts at, let's say, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
and it's 8:30 p.m., and the folks aren't there yet, then in that case, I mean, it's kind of a fair game. It's like, when you arrive, you're getting what's left,
Yeah.
because everybody then, sat down and ate and got leftovers. So, if something is missing, it's kind of your fault. You did it to yourself. You know that, showing up late, you want to run the risk of, some dishes, being decimated. But at the same time, I mean, when you're packing, to go plates, it's an art form to it. You can't be, too aggressive. You can't go cleaning things out. And, you can't leave with, like 4 or 5 trays. You gotta have a balance. So you don't want to be that guy. Now, if you didn't bring anything and you leave them with, 4 or 5 plates, you may get some looks. I know, back in the States, especially at, family's house, the aunties and uncles, they're watching, what you're putting on your plate. Some places, they encourage like, hey, no, grab some more, grab some more. And other places they're monitoring like, hey, you can get like 5 scoops of that, right? You can put 1 scoop back, or you got to balance things out. So I think it all depends on the environment, man. You got to read the room. That's what it comes down to.
And that's fair. And I think you all should be mindful of what you're making plates of, right? Like, we always talk about the mac and cheese, right? I saw this little thing somebody put online. It was a pretty funny little skit when it's basically like a conversation between mac and cheese, collard greens, the turkey, sweet potato pie, and potato salad, right?
Oh man.
And they compared it to the Temptations. Right.
Oh boy.
And so the part when they kicking them out the group. And you know what I'm saying? And basically that's who mac and cheese is, and the turkey basically saying like, you are not bigger than the group. But I'm not gonna lie, like mac and cheese, because it makes me think about when people start taking plates home, there's always that dish that everybody wants, right?
Yeah.
It's always somebody that's taking the last bit, and you're just like, come on, man. Like for us, like we always go back to the person's house who hosted the next day and just have like a little family day, because some people still over there, so we all get together back over there for the next day for the leftovers.
All right.
But our rule of thumb is like just leave everything there, and then you really start taking stuff home on the day after.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of in my feelings, and I did make a comment about it. Well, my cousin and I, we were talking about it. We were like, where's the rest of the cheese at? And to nobody's fault, the mac and cheese was actually all going the same day, right?
Mm.
But we did tell the person who made it that they probably should have made more of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they liked that comment too much, because they were like, I ain't gonna tell me to make more of it. Well, you do know mac and cheese is probably top 2 dishes, right? That and the sweet potato or yams, whatever you want to call it, because technically they're not.
Yeah. This is true.
And I don't think a lot of people know the difference between yams and sweet potatoes, but
No, I don't think so either.
That's another conversation. But long story short, I think those are probably 2, great combination dishes. And so when one of them's going this, like, fuck. So that was kind of right. Other than that, I think there should be rules of, that people should put in place of like, all right, this is when you can and cannot, this is how much you can take. And you have to determine or give someone, like, they got the nice little take-home containers that throw the size of them. They're not like a full plate.
Exactly.
If they don't fit inside there, don't take more home. Like, don't allow the aluminum foil to expand where foils, aluminum foil is catching the extra shit. Don't do that. That's not cool. So that's my 2
Oh man.
That's my 2 cents on Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving is always cool, man. So officially in holiday season. And speaking of holiday season, I was watching TV the other day. And, I think we talked about how TV now is just changing, right? So, I mean, you just see some real interesting commercials. You'll see, the biracial relationship. You'll see the mom with the 2 black kids. You'll see the dad, 2 dads, 2 moms. You know what I'm saying? Like, the commercials are different. But I will say I was pleasantly surprised. I was watching TV yesterday, and I saw a black Santa.
Interesting.
And I'm not gonna lie, inside it made me feel good. I was like, this is some progressive shit right here. Like I felt I was like, now we're moving in a solid, and it may seem small, but to see a black Santa, even me as an adult, I just love the image that it put on.
Yeah,
I thought that shit was fucking dope.
yeah, it definitely shows diversity because the I'm not gonna say the normal Santa, but I guess what we've seen and what we've been accustomed to is one thing. So that's definitely eye opening.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna have some confusion for some kids who still believe in Santa because they're not gonna know who's white, who's black. Like, how's that guy playing Santa? You know, they may not understand the whole dynamics of how commercials are fictional or whatever. But um, and I said commercial, so I was intentional on my words. I'm not gonna ruin anybody's Christmas. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to be that guy. But nah, just seeing a black Santa, I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? I think that was,
Yeah,
like I said, you know, I think we even talked about, you know, DEI, you know, maybe in the last couple episodes, and I think I thought that was a great move. So I will say, you know, and I'm even gonna shout out the brand. Like the brand was Oreo. The Oreo cookie
yeah, yeah.
is a black Santa.
Wow.
And that's what I said. It wasn't even like some low, like, it wasn't even like, you know, a black owned company. It wasn't like some, you know, hair product. It wasn't, no, it was a very mainstream part of a larger network, you know, because I forget, aren't they owned by like Nabisco or some shit? I don't know who they're owned by, but whatever.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds about right. We can
Kellogg's,
go with that.
Nabisco, one of the motherfuckers, they owned by somebody.
Yeah,
All I know is they're just one piece of the product of a whole pop. At the end of the day, they had a black style. That shit was fucking dope. So,
that's wild, man.
yeah, that was cool. That was cool. So what do you got?
What's up, man? Well, I would be remiss, if it was this video going around, at I believe it was the Grambling Southern game, and it was a gentleman, sitting in the stands, and there was a little bit of debate going on because the man was outside and he had a lighter and he had something in his hand, and there were all kind of rumors and speculations as to what he was sparking up. And I say sparking up because I'm trying to give some context clues to what folks thought the man was doing at the game. They thought that he was about to roll up at the game. And that's it's very aggressive, in a stadium, to
Yeah.
sit there and spark up. So I was kind of looking a little sideways anyway. And then after folks got different angles of the video or clarification of exactly what he was lighting up, it was eye opening. So that this guy was at the game and apparently he was eating a rib, and I guess his rib may have been a little too cold for his liking. So my man took out his lighter and he was just heating the rib up over an open flame.
So he was doing one of these things, right?
Yeah.
We all know that motion. I get you. I get you. I get you. I get you.
Yeah, so there was quite a bit of conversation and debate about this man, heating up his rib at a game with a lighter. And me, I wholeheartedly support him, because it's certain foods that just don't do well cold. And if you have the means to heat your food up, 'cause I don't know, when he got the rib, where he got the rib from, how far he walked to get the rib before he sat down. But if having a warm rib on a chilly day was going to make his day, I fully support it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so, I mean, even just going to the other category, right? I think I get it. I guess, I know for me, say if someone is smoking, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie, like when I eat, I don't know if I really like a whole bunch of smoke when I'm about to eat, right? We talked about having food, doing hookah and all this other shit, right? But I do feel that
Exactly.
trying to eat, I don't know how much food, I mean, how much smoke I want to be blowing around me. So I get that. But at the same time I don't know, man. Well, I guess because you have kids, it's supposed to be a family friendly environment. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But still, I think there are certain, like for me, I'm not gonna lie, unless I'm in a box, like I don't know when I'm gonna, take the little one to her first real game.
Hmm.
Because I can't, I mean, it's 90,000 people in some of these stadiums.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You know what I'm
the
saying?
loudness, it's a lot going on.
It's a lot, right? So I don't know, like right now, with her being so young, I don't know if I would, if she's ready for an environment like that. No, I have taken her to, a couple box games, and so that was straight, but I was able to control that. Even walking through, you got her head turning because she's a very observant person. But at the end of the day, I think I'm kind of cautious on that. But back to the story, I don't know why everyone's just so worried about what everyone else is doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I guess I'm on the fence, man. That's
Yeah.
hard. So if he did spark up, right? Whether it was a cigar, it was a cigarette, it was whatever it was. If there weren't no smoking signs, and it was in a state where it's legal, is it that bad, or should it be frowned upon?
I mean, but typically most stadiums and arenas, they may have like a designated smoking section. 'Cause I don't think that it was a location where you could just randomly walk around smoking. So I think that's where a lot of the surprise came from, of folks like, oh my gosh, this dude's sparking up at the football game.
Yeah.
So I think that was I think that was a good part of the initial conversation. Like, oh my gosh, how can he do this? And he's being inconsiderate. And when it all came down to, my man was just innovative and heating his food up so he can enjoy it.
Hey, I respect it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Uh,
All about people.
Hey, same here.
So I'm with you on that. It would have been wild if you would have put out a torch and shit. I'd have been like, all right, now this man is prepared. This man is prepared. So I can't be mad.
Exactly. Now, if he would have had the torch, I definitely would have had to question, the security protocol, because I would be amazed at how he was able to, get that through the metal detector and the magnetometers and the pat downs and all that stuff. 'Cause, I mean, going in stadiums, I mean, back in the day, you used to just be able to, walk in. It was a little more lax, but now with everything going on and precautions, I mean, going to the stadium is like a step below going to the airport. 'Cause, you're leaving your belt and your shoes on, but everything else is coming off and coming out your pocket. You got to have see-through bags, and I mean, it's a whole process. And that's why, when we were going to the World Cup game, I just put on some cargo pants and just roll with that, because I didn't know what you could bring in, what you couldn't bring in. And, I mean, you're out of the country, so it's not really a place where, if you had to, ditch your bag or something, you could come back and get it. So it's a lot, man. It's a process.
I get it. I get it. I get it. So speaking of the games, right? The rumor had it was that they weren't trying to sell alcohol at the games.
Oh, the rumor is 115% true. So 2 days
Yeah.
before the game started, because the game started last Sunday. It started on the what was it, November 20th.
Yeah.
So on November 18th, they made an announcement that there would be no beer served at the stadiums, and Budweiser was a major sponsor. So I'm like, okay, well, how is that going to go? So in the stadium, the only thing they were serving was Bud Zero.
What is that?
So I was saying, so Bud Zero is it's like a Bud Light with zero alcohol. Typically beers have like 5%, maybe 6% alcohol content. So it had 0%. So it's giving you all the taste of beer, but it's not giving you. I mean, you can drink a case of that, and you won't even feel it. You may smell like you've had a case of it, but so it was different. It was different. I know one of the things that we did was uh, I'm a lounge access guy at the airport. Lounge access has allowed me to get to the airport at least 2.5 hours before the flight. So I can go in there and relax. Wi-Fi, charge up your phone, get a little meal or something. So we had a few at the airport before we headed out. To kind of get I'm not even gonna say get a base, but at least get a little edge off. But yeah, it was different, being a sporting event, with no liquor. And they did say, some of the fan zones, they may have had, alcohol if you had, various packages you paid for. But I mean, in the Middle East, it's kind of it's a touch and go subject. You can find liquor like the American hotels, the British hotels, things of that nature. But just being out and about, walking around, popping in somewhere, getting a drink, I mean, that's not really the culture out here. So it was a different experience. Now they did say that, I guess not having alcohol, it helped control the crowds because folks didn't get as unruly because some folks go to games and they're pre-gaming at the tailgate, they're getting drinks inside, and some people don't function their best. They get a little aggressive, when they have alcohol. So I understood that kind of concern as well. And for the most part, I mean, I didn't see any activity, but it was a different environment though. So if you were there, you were really there for the games. You weren't there to get hammered and stumble home.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and that's interesting too, right? Because like you said, you think about all the different countries that played, right? And you think about how a lot of them have their national local beverage, a lot of them are partaking. There's a lot of other cultures that drink a lot more than we drink,
Oh,
right?
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? They can pound them back, right? And the fact that they're going to the game, that's why I just say, I mean, you're already adamant about going to the game, to the World Cup. You're going to the World Cup, go watch a team that you like you're adamant about that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's I don't know. I found that interesting, especially how much money they could bring in from that. But then you made a comment earlier how crazy this world is right now. Like I think that was actually a smart move.
Yeah.
Just at least it may not control all of the crowd, but it controlled just enough.
Now this is true. Now I did see video of I don't know if it was the Mexico Ecuador game. There was some game, where there was a slight scuffle, in the stands, because people get really passionate, especially when you're talking about their national teams. I mean, it's already kind of rocky when you're talking about club teams. So when you're talking about countries, everybody's there with their flags and dressed up, and emotions, definitely run high. So I agree. I mean, not having that access to alcohol, during the game, I think that definitely was a good move, because everyone was kind of anticipating, the worst of, what could happen, with an event this magnitude and, hosting it, in a country where it's a lot of cultural sensitivities.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's dope, man. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. I know our folks was out there. Y'all was having a good time. That's dope. Definitely probably one that goes down for the books.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely a good trip, man. I mean, it was a long 12 hours because I had another buddy, him and his family, they actually drove out to Doha twice, so they had to, cut through Saudi Arabia and, pay a couple fees and things like that to get there. They had to catch a bus, and I was like, yeah, that's a lot for me, because flying from here to Doha was like a 45-minute flight. So I
Yeah.
liken it to like flying from DC to New York.
Yeah.
It's like, and the flight was so short. I still have a lot of respect for the airline. You got a sandwich and you got some juice and snacks on that quick flight, because as soon as they gave it to you, they would start back the other way to come collect the trays and everything because we about to land. So here I am, trying to fight through this sandwich, to have my tray in order when they come by, hand it off. But it was definitely a good time. I said I may try to catch, another game, if tickets are available, because we still have like another probably another 2 or 3 weeks, because it runs until December the 18th before the final.
Okay.
So we'll see. But it definitely was a smooth experience, and definitely worth checking out. I'm glad that we made the trip. Now one thing I would say was a little nerve wracking is that you don't actually get your tickets on your phone until you're in close proximity to the stadium
Oh
with
shit.
your Bluetooth on. So your tickets get downloaded to your phone, So buying secondhand tickets was like, all right, these tickets, legit, are they real? Are we gonna get there and get stuck and can't get in? So that was a little nerve wracking. But like I said, man, everything worked out. I heard the following day, I heard people had some issues with one of the apps
Mm.
that contain your visa to get in the country, so they couldn't catch their flights and miss the game. So I'm like, yeah, knock on wood. I'm glad that everything went smooth for us. But Doha, they definitely Qatar, they pulled together, to host an event of this magnitude. Their population increased by 50%,
That's dope.
during this event. Yeah, it's a country of like 2.9 million people, and they expected 1.5 million visitors. So that's already a logistical nightmare. So they did the thing.
That's dope. That's some dope shit right there. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. So let me ask you a question, right? So I'm not sure. I think one of the big topics, and I know we like to talk about it all the time. But do you think that no matter how much money you make, do you think there should be a cap on how much someone pays on child support?
Well, from what I know about, and this varies from state to state, but I know most states have like a calculation. They look at the child's age, and they look at the income of both parents, and they kind of determine. I'm not going to use the word fair, because I think that there is something needs to be looked at in that system, but they determine the needs of the child and set them out from there.
Yeah.
So, I get that aspect of it. And I think if we're talking about the situation you're talking about, I think that our dear friend, he's getting lumped in two ways. I think he has child support and spousal support.
That shit crazy.
And that amount. And yeah, that's I mean, when I saw that figure, I had to look extra close because that extra zero threw me off.
Yeah, and I guess, and I guess some people can sit there and say, well, it's relative. We just talked about bragging about being billionaires and stuff taken away, right? But, and I have a couple parts about this, right? I feel that for the spousal part of it, again, you may not like my opinion. You may not agree with it, but that's not really my problem. So I'm gonna try to be nice about it, but whatever. I don't think you should have to give the spousal support, right? I feel that this individual is an adult. Hopefully, when you do get, that union to become one, that, you are leveling each other up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two's always going to be stronger than one, obviously. So maybe you build a certain lifestyle. But, hopefully, you do have a significant other that is hopefully as ambitious and able to want you to be better. So you make each other better. So you have two driven folks,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So I don't know about if I would believe in, want to get spousal support on either side. She makes more than him or he makes more than her. Like, I think that's bullshit, right? And then especially when you're in that world and technically you're both pretty close to making, just shy of maybe $1 billion of all of what you're worth, right? I don't think spousal support should be even a conversation. It's just making sure your kids are straight, making sure, they have everything that they want, they need. But I should have to support you. You're a grown ass person.
Yeah.
Everyone
That's
you ain't
valid.
by yourself. Like, what the fuck, right? Like, nah, that's not the way this should work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm buying you stuff, and then imagine who was in the wrong, right? I think even that situation is not like folks separated because of infidelity and shit like that. They separated because motherfuckers was going crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's a strong word. Let's not say crazy. Let me take that back. Motherfuckers were going through some things, and they just decided to go. They decided to go their separate ways. I'll say that. So not crazy. Take that back.
Because I definitely want to see that breakdown, because I mean, $200,000 a month. I just have to do the math right quick. Times 12 months in a year is $2.4 million a year. Now that is, a whole lot of money, and that's why I said I definitely want to see the breakdown between, child support and spousal support, because I mean, by the time you tack on the most expensive private schools, by the time you tack on nannies and things like that and living expenses, $2.4 million is still a whole lot of money. I know of some private schools that could be like, I don't even know if they can reach 6 figures a year. I know you can reach you know, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, a year, but that just seems like a whole lot. But again, on the flip side of that, when you run around, saying, you're the richest black man and you're a billionaire, and I think, his net worth, dropped down to like 400 million. Which is, still nothing to sneeze at. It's still a decent amount of money, but it does seem a little outrageous to me.
I think it's just unfair, and unfortunately, like I say, man, I don't know, man. I think that we are giving. I get, we may be annoyed and be mad for some of the things, but give the man a break, man. Like, come on, enough's enough, right? Like, let the man just breathe for a minute. He got enough shit coming at him, right? He don't need to have. It's not necessary, right? But then, like, you think about it, right? Are we penalizing him more and just continuously beating him? Because I'm not gonna lie, like, I did start thinking, like, is he getting hit over the head? Because even though you're supposed to be unbiased, I think it's subconsciously impossible to be unbiased. I don't give a fuck what no one. Like, you sit there and you try to go in, and whether you're rating somebody, doing this, doing that, and you try to just look at the facts at hand, you're a human being. So anyone that sits there and says, well, I'm unbiased, this, that, and the third, you're fucking lying. It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, especially with, I mean, two individuals of that magnitude. It's almost nearly impossible, not to have heard about the situation and any of the issues they've had, because I mean, we were every week, we had, information about their personal lives, just thrown at us. I mean, things that we didn't want to know, we knew.
Facts.
So I think that's tough. But also, I kind of blame the lawyers as well. I mean, because if you hire a lawyer to, represent you, through a divorce, those negotiating skills, really come into play, because a lot of this stuff can be worked out, outside the court when it comes to an agreement between, two parties. So I don't know if, during his billionaire time, that amount, was put out there and looked at it like, all right, well, I mean, that's slight work. I'm good with that. And then once things change, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm just going to say that is a lot of money, and support.
I don't care if you got it or not, right? Come on now. Like, that's still a decent amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, if that was only, I mean, it's a lot of money, right? And obviously, I don't think a 5-year-old needs that much money, right? And 5-year-olds, honestly, man, they fuck around and play with fucking painter's tape and fucking happiest kids in the world, right? So
exactly.
they use the most random household item things you can find, and their world is made.
Yes.
And all their toys, they actually leave them in the box. They collect dust. It's all the random shit. It's fucking TV remotes, water bottles, and shit like that. That empty water bottles at that, right? That are fucking hot ticket items. So, if it's truly about the kids and want to make sure the kids are straight, I'm all good for that. But you can't act like even before she got with them that she ain't already have her own shit, right? And
Yeah. I mean, they were a power couple.
you know what I'm saying? So they both came to the table with, I think, a decent amount of money for each.
Yeah.
You know, and this made them stronger together, right? Financially.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. They both helped each other's brand out.
right. So I don't know, man. I just think I think it's impossible. I think there was some biased decisions made as to why this man's paying 200,000. Like I'm just like that shit. It's just what a coincidence is of just how a string of events have just been happening, fucking up this man's pocket. Like, all right, man. Like he needs to learn his lesson, but like, all right, it's time to relax.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that we need to see, and not that even we want to see, but just to put context behind it. You know, I mean, to find out, I mean, the rest of how things were divided up, because they had property,
Yeah.
they were involved in each other's business. I mean, there's more to it. So I mean, how were things divided, and who got what? I think that now becomes a relevant, question just to shine light on it, because from the outside looking in, it does look like he's really taking some significant hits behind this.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, I agree. And I think that's enough, man. All right, take a break. Because then it makes you think, right? I think people are trying to push it, but this shit's getting swept so quick underneath the rug. That whole Jerry Jones picture.
Mm.
It's like people are trying and trying and trying to talk about it and have conversation, but that shit was a 2.5 second problem, and it was over with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we gotta just why do we have to just continue to beat each other up? You know what I'm saying? People out here wilding out here. But we focus on ourselves. We focus on our community. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, I think it's already enough enemies out here. Why we gotta do it to ourselves, to each other?
Nah, I agree. Because that runs right into the last thing I wanted to bring up that caught my attention. There was a woman who exposed her cheating neighbor after catching the neighbor's side piece on the doorbell camera, right? So, and that's the thing about, man, these doorbell cameras. You gotta be careful. I mean, they're picking up everything. They're picking up things out in the street. And especially it looked like they were in like a condo or some sort of like apartment like situation. So it was like the angle. If this was real and legit, because I can't validate that. I mean, this video was authentic, but from what was put out, the lady showed a still shot of, I guess, the husband leaving the house with a duffel bag. I guess he was going on a work trip, and then the next shot showed this other dude come to the door who did not resemble the first dude in the picture, the husband,
Mm.
with a case of beer and something else walking in the door. And then the next picture showed, timestamp of, 3 a.m., said dude leaving, and a young lady at the door not wearing the outfit she had on when she first opened the door.
Mm. Mm.
So this was, put out on, social media and picked up by a couple of news organizations. And, I mean, folks are weighing in the comments, because this is one of those things where, I had to read the comments. I had to see what folks were saying. And folks were like, yeah, the neighbor needs to show him the video. He doesn't know. We all know he doesn't know. He's in the dark and this and that. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, see, that's the thing about, you know, us not having enough to do to where, you capture something. And instead of you, confronting the neighbor or the husband or just minding your business, here you go posting your business on social media for the world to see.
Mm.
So I mean, this man, may not even know what's going on. Now he can be getting ridiculed at work. His family sees it. I mean, you can create so many more issues
Yeah. No.
by just throwing things out like that. And I think that's a little irresponsible. I mean, it's I don't only want to say it's comedy for us because the situation at the end of the day is not at all funny, but it's a little insensitive. It's the same way of when people are fighting or somebody gets injured or shot or robbed, and we're sitting here recording and putting it on on the internet. I mean, it's insensitive. So I put it right up in that category, but I
No,
just think it's a wild thing to do.
no, I agree. I think it's very insensitive. I will sit there. The reason why I say it's insensitive is like you put it out there on social media to expose a relationship that obviously is having trouble. I don't know if they're boyfriend, girlfriend, if they were husband and wife. You said they were husband and wife?
I believe so. I believe so.
Either way, these two people obviously must have lived together, right?
Exactly.
And so, like you say, you're being insensitive, not understanding of what kind of impact this can have on this man who walked out, think he's going out on a normal day. His other half is at home chilling, waiting for him to get back. And got a whole thing else come. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what that man's about to go through. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what kind of situations obviously are going behind closed doors. Just to add that out there and make a mockery of it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that's taking nosy neighbor to a whole nother level. I mean, you always have people who peek out the window and peek through the doorbell. you know,
Yeah.
but now having video and uploading that video. I mean, this is much different than you spreading gossip in the neighborhood. Now this is worldwide. I mean, once it's up on the internet, it's not going anywhere. So
That's what I'm saying. He could be a laughing stock now, right? It's fucked up. Like, this man may go crazy. Now, what if because of this video and because somebody else in the stream is like, yo, you that dude, that's wife had that side piece coming or whatever, right? The motherfucker may snap. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
what if he does snap, Now what are you going to say? Like, oh, damn, maybe I shouldn't put that video up. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I'd rather you just go talk to them, you know what I'm saying, as a man to man and be like, yo, that's if you are someone who just sticks your nose in other people's business. You know what I'm saying? Because you also don't know if they have
exactly.
an open relationship. You don't know what's going on. But you're going to
Yeah,
put
you
this
don't
out there
know.
to make fun.
Yeah, it's wild, man. But I don't know. I guess more to come on that one.
More to come. Like, but again, I hope whatever's happening in that household, man, they find their peace, right? And that piece is still working through it or that piece is going separate ways. I just hope they find their peace and, do what's best for each other. That's all I say. It's one thing I will say about that.
Uh, yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Well, you definitely see, over my shoulder, the background has lit up. Morning is in full swing here. So, before we get out of here, you got anything else? What's going on?
Not much, man. Like I said, man, we just got through one holiday. We're in holiday season, man. One thing I'm learning, we about to actually gear up, get some wheels up, man, and go to one of my second favorite homes, Jamaica. That's gonna be a solid time, little family
Yeah.
getaway on that.
Okay.
So that's gonna be cool, But I'm on this whole fence about I don't know, man. As I get around more and more kids and all these kids function, you gotta love them, man. They are some nasty little motherfuckers, boy. They are. I've just you just sit there and you're like, you really just did that, right? You like, I'm not gonna lie, you get amazed of how intentional, little ones are capable of just spreading germs, right? It's like
Oh yeah.
you just like sheesh. So nah, man, just trying to dodge all that. But other than that, man, chilling. They got the big brunch coming up.
Yeah. 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 I
So
saw that.
yeah. So the big brunch is happening. It's if you are in the DMV area, stop by. Yeah, good folks over at Smiles and Good Times. They say stop by on the 18th. So check them out. They got they're telling me one cool thing that they did. They're doing infused and non-infused and adding some more vegan options and
Okay.
all you can eat. So they have different packages and stuff like that. So definitely check them out on there. But
I like it. Something
yeah,
for everybody.
There you go. Something for everybody. So definitely check them out. But other than that, like I said, man, we're in the middle of the holiday. And I will say one last thing. It blew my mind as we're talking about these holidays. One thing I want to say is I think for this holiday with all the crazy shit, try to live in the present, right? Just try to, this is my one thing I'm going to say, right? While we're in holiday season, try to live in the present, man. I saw a commercial the other day that basically talking about, fucking 4th of July already type shit,
Oh,
right?
that's ridiculous.
They
Yeah,
no
yeah.
real shit, man. They went through Valentine's Day. They went through New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day. They went through fucking Memorial Day and all this other shit.
Easter, everything.
Easter. I'm like, yo, let's just get through this season first. So, yeah, man, just try to live in the present. Just try to live in the present. Enjoy folks. Enjoy life. You're here to live another day. So, you wake up, just embrace it. That's it. That's all I have.
Nah, man, I can dig it, man. I can dig it. On this end, we got the Jacksons out here, so we've been, setting them up with, with some things to do, and so far they're enjoying themselves. Try to tell them to get well rested because
Yeah.
out here in the UAE, they're celebrating UAE National Day. So that's like National Day is December 2nd. So that's when the UAE was formed. When the seven Emirates came together and said, all right, we're gonna do this collectively. So out here, it's a 4-day weekend, and during this 4-day weekend, there's always this big event, Seasons Dubai, which is like a mini carnival, so to speak. And when I say carnival, I'm talking about carnival from the Caribbean aspect. I'm not talking about the state fair with the Ferris wheel and the merry-go-round. So we got a couple events lined up. Got a yacht party, this evening. Got a slow jams party tomorrow. Then got a pool party tomorrow. Got what else? Got a concert. So it's a ton of events. This weekend. So I'm actually off work. So I know usually I'm running off of here to go into the phone booth and become Clark Kent and put on some work clothes, but I'm actually about to run and go get back in the bed and go to sleep.
I feel you.
So I can be energized. 'Cause it's been some long nights this week of going to sleep at 1, 2 in the morning and waking up at 5:30. So I'm not as young as I used to be, and naps have become an essential part of my adult life. I love, and you know how I feel about that good 45-minute power nap.
I hear you.
That is who I am. So I'm about to lay it back down for another 2 or 3 hours and then, wake up and, start pulling my life together. But definitely, next week, I'm gonna have a nice little recap of the weekend's events because, like I said, this is something they do every December here in Dubai. And just missed it last year, so I got here New Year's, so I missed it by like a month. So anytime, we get to get a little taste of home and, get around some Caribbeans, it's always a good time, but it's always, a very, very long day, a long night, so we shall see.
There you go. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Definitely enjoy that. Yeah, let us know more about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, hey, before we get out of here, once again, shout out to Shisha to you. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. You can keep up with us on Twitter at InTheBowPod. Definitely, if we said something that struck a chord with you, we always say we're two highly opinionated individuals, but we're open to the opinions of others. So hit us up in the comments and let us know, what you think. We talked about a couple of topics today, which are definitely, conversational pieces. So definitely don't be shy. We love to hear from you. And last but not least, as we always say, don't forget to clean out those hookahs. After every use, clean your hookah. So that way, when you're ready to fire it up, half the work is already done. Don't leave that water sitting in that base, for a week or two. That's disgusting. So until next week, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
And as always, click, like, and subscribe.
Hustle 5 Ways Radio.